Thank you. Mr. Biggs.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. This is an incredibly important and timely hearing today. Appreciate you, gentlemen, for being here today. We're considering an almost $890 billion NDAA bill this week. The only thing that's actually growing faster than the DOD budget is, as a budget unit, is our interest on our national debt. That's the only thing that's growing faster than that. So I thank you for being here. Mr. Tenaglia, I have to tell you, I am disappointed that your colleagues did not make today's hearing a priority, but I'm grateful that you were here. DOD's budget accounts for nearly half the federal discretionary budget, and DOD is responsible for nearly 75% of government assets. Mr. Khan, DOD's financial management has been on GAO's high-risk list since when?
1995.
And this highlights the exposure of taxpayer-funded resources to waste, fraud, abuse, or mismanagement, because it's nearly 30 years DOD has been on that high-risk list. It's already been discussed today. Last fall, DOD failed its 5th consecutive audit and was unable to account for 61% of its $3.5 trillion in assets. Yet after more than 15 years of audit readiness and remediation efforts, DOD has yet to produce a clean audit. Mr. Mansfield, how much money has DOD spent on audit readiness over the past 15 years?
Sir, I don't know over the past 15 years. I don't have that in front of me, but I can tell you since 2018, audit support, which is responding to auditor requests, is right around $1 billion. And audit remediation efforts, that is putting controls, developing corrective action plans, that's around $3 billion.
$3 billion?
Yes, sir.
So a total about $4 billion? That's
correct.
And still can't manage to pass a stinking audit. Mr. Khan, what factors contributed to DOD's inability to pass a financial audit?
It's primarily the capacity. It's got two parts to that. One is antiquated systems. They're unable to produce reliable information. And the other one is a trained workforce, people who know the end-to-end DOD business processes, and they know how to work new modern systems.
Same question for you, Mr. Mansfield.
I don't have a whole lot to add there. I think it really is just antiquated systems and just a lack of understanding what their processes and procedures are.
Mr. Tenaglia?
I think the internal controls and also the inability of our systems to communicate with one another. In my written statement, I described the procure-to-pay process, the end-to-end process from financial inception of a requirement in through contract and payment on that contract. And so behind that, we are instituting a number of standards that will enable.
Okay, let me ask you this next question. Mr. Tenaglia, what are the consequences for failing to pass an audit to DOD?
Well, in the case, in the domain that I work in the procurement and contracting, it relates to our inability to.
What's the consequences?
The consequence, inability to understand where our assets are.
So the response of this body is that we just keep throwing more money there, right? You don't know where the assets are, but we're going to keep giving you more money. So the NDAA top line is increasing by $23 billion this year. Inflation adjusted, it will be the highest DOD budget since World War II. Highest. And Mr. Higgins here, the audit line of questioning that he was engaged in, the problem is, he said, Mr. Mansfield correctly answered that if you fail an audit, you're not going to get more money from the bank. And he says, well, we're the bank. The problem is, the bank just keeps giving you more money. So, Mr. Tenaglia, there is no consequence. You may not know where everything is, but we're going to give you more money. It just keeps happening. And that's what's going to happen tonight at 10 p.m. We'll finish it off tomorrow. We'll do amendments tonight, and then tomorrow we'll pass it out, and we're going to send it to the Senate, and you guys are going to get more money than you've ever had. I don't think anybody in this audience at home, the 4 people that are watching us on TV, and those of you who are in this room, it would be, and probably most people in this committee, I'm not sure that you even realize this, but it was reported to me before we left for the July 4th recess that the $1.8 trillion discretionary budget, non-military and military, all the discretionary budget, we have to borrow every penny of that $1.8 trillion. Every penny. That's the problem with us being a bank. We are broke, and we just don't acknowledge it or know it. Yield.
Ms. Crockett?